In this video session, we will discuss the third law of motion. And in the previous lesson, we have studied about first law and second law. And I will recall first law and second law for you again. So, in first law of motion, first law of motion, we have studied that to bring a change, I will write it, to bring a change in a state of a body, a force is needed. What is this? According to first law of motion, to bring a change means if you want to bring a change in a state of rest or state of motion. Here I have written only state. State means what? Whatever with the present state of the body, we have to bring a change in it. And for that, we need a force. Means suppose a body is at rest. Suppose a body is at rest. And it is at rest. When you apply a force, then it comes in motion. When it comes in motion. So we can call it to bring a change, means we have changed its position, means state from rest to motion, and for this a force is needed. Similarly, if the body is in motion, to stop it means to bring a change in its state. Again means what? This body is in motion and we want to bring it at rest. So again we need a force. Suppose, example is, suppose you want to catch a ball, okay, in a cricket. So when you catches a ball, you applied a force, and when you applied a force, then its state from motion becomes rest. From motion, body was in motion and then it becomes in rest. Similarly, that is why I have written to bring a change in state of a body, a force is needed. Okay? And according to second law, a force produces an acceleration in a body. Now, so a force produces an acceleration in a body. Means suppose the body is at rest. When you applied a force, it comes in motion. It comes in motion, and being in motion, we can call it is accelerated. What we can call? The body is accelerated. Body is having acceleration because its velocity keeps on changing just because of the force is continuing acting. If the force is continuing acting, then the body is accelerated. So we can call it, according to the second law of motion, a force produces acceleration. So here, please notice 2 points. Here, first law tells us to bring a change, we need a force. A force produces an acceleration. But these two law does not explain how these forces will act on a body. Now there is a question, how these forces will act on a body. So here you have seen that this body will exert force, but how the force will exert on body, this is not clear from here. So to clear this question, and means this question is answered by the third law. This question is answered by third law of motion. Many of the students have asked to me that why, sir, we need a third law of motion. Why? We have already first law and second law. Why the scientist Newton just written that third law of motion? Why? Because first law only explains a force requires. Second law explain that acceleration will produce. But these two forces together cannot explain that how forces are related to body, how it acts on body. So this question is answered by the third law of motion. And according, that is why this is the requirement of the third law of motion. Okay. So I am going to write the third law of motion. Now, third law of motion. If you memorize the first and second law, it will be quite slightly different, means difficult. But third law is easy, very easy in sentence wise. So what is, according to this, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. This is only third law. To every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Now, what is mean by action and reaction? Action is the force which is exerted by a body. Suppose I just push this board in this direction, so I am exerting a force. So action is done by me because I have taken the initiative. Means I have started exerting force. So my force is action, and whatever be the force I am getting back, that is called reaction. Means action and reaction. Action and reaction. These are paired. So these are pairs. I mean to say that now, according to the third law of motion, to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. What does it mean again? Action and reaction you have studied. Action is we have done, and reaction we get back. Okay. So if I exert 2 Newton force, so let me explain through an example. Suppose this is a ball. Okay, and if I have exerted a force of 2 Newton, so I will get back a 2 Newton force from ball. You have exerted a force of 2 Newton, then you are getting back a force of 2 Newton. This is third law of motion. To have reaction, there is equal and opposite reaction. Opposite means in opposite direction you will get it. Okay, that is why. Mathematical analysis of third law. Suppose a body exert. So in mathematically, I will write the next way. Mathematically, third law can be written like this: minus of f to 1. This is not 12 and 21. This is f12 and this is f21. This is called action and this is called reaction. This is action and reaction, and this force is called force on second body by first, and this is known as force opposite. This is force on first by second. So force of first body on second, and force of second on first. This is in minus. Why it is in minus? Because according to this third law of motion, to every action there is equal and this opposite. This opposite means negative sign. So this is known as our action and this is our reaction. And action and reaction, and these two forces always exist in pairs. So that is why we can say force always exist in pairs. Please note down this. Force always exists in pairs. Force cannot be isolated. Means if any body exert a force on any other different bodies, then that different body will exert the force on the first body. Always. That is why forces always exist in pairs. Whatever be the force, this will be always in pairs. And this is all according to the third law of motion. Okay. Now we will see the action reaction on same body concept. What is mean by action and reaction? D. And what are some examples? Examples of daily life examples. Daily life examples of third law of motion. First, when you have to take a jump, okay, so what you do, you just presses the ground with your feet, and means you just presses, and that is action. That is action. Okay. And in the reaction, ground presses your legs, means the feet. Okay. So action is done by you on the ground, and reaction is done on you by the ground. So action reaction pair exists there. In rocket also you can see the rocket. In the rocket propulsion, you can see that the gases exhaust by the rocket acts as the action. Action is done on the environment. Environment means the gases done the exert a pressure, okay, in downward, in the upward direction. Then suppose rocket is there. What happens actually? The gases exerts pressures, okay, downward, pressure in downward direction. A force is downward direction. In result of this receives a reaction in upward direction. This is the examples of third law of motion. Now, again we will see action, reaction. On same body concept. Action, reaction on same body concept. Now, you have seen that, suppose now this is your car, okay, although it's not look like a car, okay. So suppose when a person is sitting in the car, pushes the car from inside, will the car move? Obviously not. Try it at home. Just by sitting inside the car, you are not able to just push the car, and the car will not move. But when the same person comes here and pushes the car from here, then the car moves. Why? Because when the body is in car, action is on the car, action is on the car by the body, means by the body or by the man, suppose. And reaction is on the man. Reaction is on the man by the car. By the car. In this you can see action is on the car and reaction is on the man. But man is a part of car. Man is inside. Man is a part of car. It means reaction is also on the car. That is why action is on the car and reaction is also on the car. And action action and reaction are opposite and equal. Opposite and equal means they cancel each other and resultant force is zero. That is why the car is not able to move. And other examples you have, just take a chair, okay, and with your feet not touching the ground, try to lift the chair. Your feet or your legs should not touch the ground, okay, then try to lift the chair. You are not able to lift the chair because action is on the chair and reaction is on you, and you are a part of chair. That is why action and reaction on same body. If action and reaction will act on same body, they cancel each other and the net force will be zero. That is why this will not work, or car will not work, and you are not able to lift the chair. And there are many more examples on it. Now again we will see the definition of force. We have studied F is equals to ma. Force is equals to, force acting on a body is equals to mass of body and acceleration in it. Now what is SI unit of force? SI unit of force is Newton, denoted by N. And CGS unit of force is dyne. What is dyne? And there is a relation between Newton and dyne. 1 Newton is equals to 10 to power 5 dyne. I will explain to you also that how this relation becomes. Now, definition of 1 Newton. What is 1 Newton? Let F is equals to m. We know that F is equals to m. If m is equals to 1 kg, we will take F. M is equals to 1 kg. And why we are doing this? Just to make our definition. Okay. And if suppose acceleration is also 1 meter per second square, then force is equals to 1 multiplied by 1 is equals to 1 Newton. So here we can write force is equals to 1 Newton. What does it mean? Force is 1 Newton, and this is our definition. So here we can tell that 1 Newton is that much force. 1 Newton is that much force which exerts or which produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in a body of mass 1 kg. Okay. So the definition is given in the notes. Na? You can match, everything is given in the notes. Now again, F is equals to ma. Now we wish to find the definition of 1 dyne. Okay. Definition of 1 dyne. F is equals to ma. So F is equals to, if we will take the body, this is the CGS unit. Now what is mean by CGS? Again I will explain to you. CGS centimeter, gram, second. So we will take mass in gram, and when we take here it is given acceleration in meter and second, na? So we will use in centimeter instead of meter and second for second. Okay. So if m is equals to 1 gram and acceleration is 1 centimeter per second square, then F is equals to ma, that is equals to, now 1 into 1 is equals to 1, and now we have taken the CGS unit, so here the force will be in CGS unit, that is dyne. So what is the definition of 1 dyne? If 1 dyne is that much force which produces an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square in a body of mass 1 gram. Now we will find the relation. Newton and dyne. We have already written, but I will prove it. So what is the definition of force 1 Newton? So 1 Newton is equals to 1 into 1. So I will use this. 1 Newton is equals to 1 kg multiplied by 1 meter per second square. Okay, isn't it? Again, 1 Newton is equals to 1 kg. Now we will convert this kg into gram. Into gram. Why? You will understand why I am doing this. So convert 1 kg into gram. So 1 kg is equals to 1000 gram. So I will write 1000 gram multiplied. Again I will convert meter into centimeter because we want to CGS, we want in CGS unit. That is why I am writing gram and centimeter now. Okay. So 1 is equals to 100 centimeter. And we need not to change the second because second is here also second. So 1 Newton equals to, how many zeros are here? 3, and here 2. The total 10 to power 5 zeros, and gram centimeter per second square, and gram centimeter per second square is equals to centimeter, and gram is equals to dyne. That is why 1 Newton is equals to 10 to power 5 dyne. This is our required result. Okay.